Guys, Sunjutsu here, and today I wanted to go ahead and give you my list for the top 5 units for Bretonnia. This list is comprised of the units that came from the free LC, and it's my own personal list. Units range from either being, really cool to how effective they are on the battlefield, their abilities and stuff like that. And if you have a different list, let me know in the comment section below what your list is. Let's go ahead and get started. 5 on this list is the Green Knight. Now I have him at number 5 essentially because he is more of an agent than a unit. In the past lists I haven't had units on the list, thinking that I would eventually make a list for units themselves. Eventually I will, but this character is so ingrained in what the Bretonnian free LC is. He's connected to the gameplay, he's connected to the battlefields, he's connected to the campaign. So I wanted to go ahead and put him on the list. Not only that, but he also looks fantastic and he is heavily involved in the lore of Bretonnia. So he's a melee specialist, melee expert, he's also ethereal. So ethereal units ignore most damage done by non-magical weapons, so he's extremely powerful in that way. Causes terror. Let me go ahead and read his little description here. The holder of secrets and keeper of the way, whose strength is the quester's ultimate test. Kind of like a riddle there or something. And his armor is at 40, his leadership at 100, his speed is at 84, his melee attack is 54, but it does have magical attacks included. His melee defense is 48, his weapon strength is 430, that's pretty high. Charge bonus 85. Let me go ahead and read off some of these little tiny abilities he's got. So he's got the Blessing of the Lady, so that gives him plus 20 physical resistance. He causes fear, as I said earlier, causes terror. He encourages, he gets Vanguard deployment. He's also unbreakable. He gets the Blessing of the Lady. He gets the Sacred Guardian, replenishes hit points of combatants. And he gets the Glorious Blade. List are the Grail Guardians. Now where would this list be without at least some form of knight on the list? And this is the most high tier cavalry unit I believe in the actual roster. Essentially there isn't much different when it comes to the way that he looks from the other knights, or this unit looks from the other knights. That's kind of the reason he makes it to number 4 instead of higher. But got some great abilities here. This knight is armored and shielded. They're living saints, so knights who have sipped from the Grail are elevated above mere mortals. They truly are what is best in men. Anti-infantry, and let me go ahead and read the little insert here. The holy relics of the Lady, the most sacred in all Bretonnia, are guarded by the most fervent and fearsome of warriors. It's pretty cool. This unit's armor is at 120, their leadership is at 92, speed is at 75, melee is at 32, but they also have magical attacks included. Melee defense is at 56, weapon strength is at 33, and charge bonus is at 34, making it a pretty good cavalry unit. Lasts pretty decently long in a fight, in a melee fight. He is also physically resistant 20%. Immune to vigor. Vigor has no effect on this unit. Can hide in forest, immune to psychological effects. He's got the Blessing of the Lady as well. And yeah, that's essentially it. Number 3 on this list goes to the Foot Squires. They are some badass swordsmen, and one of the reasons I have them such high on the list is because the way they look, just all little details that go in them. There's so many details, but it just reminds me so much of a medieval styled game. And for me, for someone who would have loved to have a medieval 3 of some kind, it's fantastic. So I'm gonna go ahead and read their insert real quick. Let's go ahead and get that going here. Every squire dreams of becoming a knight, and every knight dreams of having a better squire. Essentially, yeah, these guys are pretty badass. Now, I would have liked to see some foot knights or something like that along those lines in the roster. But we do get some units that really kind of resemble these guys. And so they have armor piercing, anti-infantry, they are damage dealers. Their armor is at 70, their leadership is at 75, so it's pretty high. Speed is 28, melee attack is 25, melee defense is 20, weapon strength is 35. It also has bonus versus infantry and armor piercing, so they're going to be good against infantry. You can throw them into fights. I'm pretty sure they even hold their own against some of the green skin infantry. and their charge bonus is a 24. They really have no other abilities, but they aren't that expensive if you work your money right. But from what I've been playing, the Bretonnia campaign also is kind of hard, depending on which Bretonnian faction you pick, to kind of get your coffers up. So you know, you might want to be sparingly on these guys, but these guys, again, they're pretty badass and they just look really cool. I'm always a fan of flying units, and so I had to put this guy on the list. He is the highest costing flying unit, most expensive, but they are pretty effective. They are strong, and if you think that knights on Pegasus are powerful, I mean royal knights on hippogriffs, I would say is even more so. They are armor piercing. They cause terror as per their steed, their valiant steed. A hippogriff is no easy prize, but its power in battle makes the effort to tame one worth it. That's pretty cool right there. And their armor is at 60, their leadership is at 75, also high. Their speed is at 85, their melee attack is at 40. Melee defense is at 28, and weapon strength is at 114, a whopping 114. So they're going to be extremely powerful when it comes to dealing damage. Their charge bonus is at 50. The only thing is that their melee defense and their armor, I mean, it could be a little bit higher in my opinion, but something with these flying units is that you have to be extremely careful. You don't want them to get too many hits. You don't want the enemy to get too many hits on them, because they will completely destroy them if left unattended or made poor decisions of. So these guys cause terror and they cause fear. Again, nothing extremely special about these guys, but they are the highest of the flying battalions, and I'm a sucker for flying units, especially in this game, so I wanted to go ahead and put them at number 2. So there's many reasons why I picked the Grail Relic, whatever you want to call it. I picked them for number 1 on this list. I just love the way this unit looks. It is just fantastic. I don't know, it's like you want to take it seriously, but at the same time, really you can't. It's like a couple dudes carrying what looks like a scarecrow with armor on top of a wooden horse that you would see at a karaoke place in Texas, a karaoke bar in Texas, a bull or something like that. Like, it's crazy, it's fun, and it has a couple of good abilities, but at the same time, it's not really like one of those top tier units. But it's gonna be something fun for you to have in your army if you decide to choose, if you choose to have it. And its description is: the interred remains of knights are defended violently by those whose existence gives them purpose. So these guys right here, I'm assuming, let's see here, interred remains of knights defended violently by those whose existence gives them purpose. I guess the remains of this knight in particular gives these guys who are holding him purpose to carry him around into battle. And so that's just amazing. He even has a cowbell, like or like not cowbell, but he's got like a little bell on him. I don't know. It's just funny, like the way that it looks. Like, look at his face. Like, look at that. He's just enjoying it, just chilling. Anyway, these guys. This guy has armor at 40, leadership at 106. That is high leadership. It might have something to do with this ability right here, the Icon of Devotion, plus 16 leadership, immune to psychological effects. The leadership is 106, speed is at 30, yeah, it's not that fast. Melee attack is at 32, melee defense is 28, weapon strength is at 49, and charge bonus is at 28. See, it's not the most high tier of units. It does have frenzy, and against and as I said, magical aura. But there are a couple of things here that he also has as well. Missile resistance 15%. Physical resistance 20%, hide in forest, immune to psychological effects, the blessing of the lady, frenzy, and again the Icon of Devotion. Then he's got, you know, all these right here. So anyway, that's kind of why I had him on the list, because of this is one of the units that normally I don't do that. I don't put a unit that just looks really cool at number 1. But come on, man, look at this. He's got even bells on his tail. Like, I'm not trying to hate on him, but I think he looks really cool, honestly, in my opinion. But anyway, that's my list, guys. You guys are gonna get to play with these units here, I think, tomorrow. And I just want to go ahead and give you guys my 2 cents before I made more videos. I'm gonna be making more machinima style videos here in the near future, and I'm gonna try to focus on the as much as I can and kind of delve into what makes the Bretonnians a great faction. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. This is going to be Sunjetsu signing off. Take care. Guys, Sunjetsu here, and today I wanted to go ahead and give you my list for the top 5 units for Bretonnia. This list is comprised of the units that came from the free LC, and it's my own personal list than a unit. In the past lists, I haven't had units on the list, thinking that I would eventually make a list for units themselves. Eventually I will, but this character is so ingrained in what the Bretonnia free LC is. He's connected to the gameplay, he's connected to the battlefields, he's connected to the campaign. The holder of secrets and keeper of the way, whose strength is the quester's ultimate test. Kind of like a riddle there or something. And his armor is at 40, his leadership at 100, his speed is at 84, his melee attack is 54, but it does have magical attacks included. His melee defense is 48, his weapon strength is 4. Units range from either being, really cool to how effective they are on the battlefield, their abilities and stuff like that. And if you have a different list, let me know in the comment section below what your list is. Let's go ahead and get started. 5 on this list is the Green Knight. Now I have him at number 5 essentially because he is more of an agent, so I wanted to go ahead and put him on the list. Not only that, but he also looks fantastic and he is heavily involved in the lore of Bretonnia. So he's a melee specialist, melee expert. He's also ethereal. So ethereal units ignore most damage done by non-magical weapons. So he's extremely powerful in that way. Causes terror. Let me go ahead and read his little description here.